StreamYard Social.
This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
Happy Wednesday. No, it's not Friday yet, even though I got my guy here, B. Strilla, from Friday Night with the Fellas. I hope everybody is doing amazing. I'm Sonja. This is B.A., B. Strilla. What's up, B? How you doing? And this is Prim and Proper Sports on Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025. We're officially in the last month of the year. B, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. What up, though? How are you doing?
What up, though? Listen, everyone probably knows. So we are live, y'all. So come on in and say hey. I actually wrapped up that first midterm last night. I have one more. So tonight was like my little rehab mentally day that I didn't want to do any studying. Then I'll start going back at it tomorrow for my exam on Monday. So that's why y'all see me here. But I'm doing amazing. Everybody named Mama knows I've been trying to just anything Panther related. I shared it. We are no longer the underdogs. We are the dogs, okay? So, B, you're going to have to let me brag a little bit here because I am excited.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I am in shock. I thought the game would be competitive, but honestly, for the Panthers to beat the Rams, who had won 6 games straight, was just absolutely shocking to me. We had so many big plays. Jalen Coker, shout out to him. T-Mac, shout out to Derek Brown on the defense for that crucial turnover when it counted most. I'm going to run through the stats on it and then be, as a neutral person, because y'all know, you and all the guys in the group chat know I just was like eating it up. I was like, oh my goodness, like, is this really happening? The way the game was, like, the Panthers kept the lead the majority of the game. What's up, Mikey? The Panthers kept the lead the majority of the game. Panthers had 14 in the first quarter. Rams only had 7. The second quarter, it was a reverse. The Rams had 14. The Panthers had 3. And then in the third quarter, the Panthers were the only scorer with the 7 points. And then the fourth quarter, both teams scored 7 apiece. But why in the world would Sean McVay eat up all his timeouts with more than 2 minutes left on the clock? To me, that's what shocked me, and especially with the Panthers coming off of the unfortunate loss to the garbage 49ers. We bounced back. What's up, Steve-O? I see you. We bounced back because everyone just knew 20-9 off the 49ers. It was going to be, they thought it was going to be another Buffalo fest, but they forgot Bryce was back. It wasn't Andy Dalton. It was Bryce. And as the Rams say, whose house? Panthers house. Big game for everybody. Thank you, Steve-O. I appreciate it. I guess because, you needed us to knock them off so you guys can move on up. Matt Stafford, quarterback, of course, for the Rams. He had 18 out of 28 for 243 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he also had 2 interceptions. He was coughing up that ball for the Panthers defense. We got tired of everybody talking trash about us during the offseason, about our defense being so bad. Now we're in the top, like one of the top performing defenses. Matter of fact, on the offense, we are the number one, 4th-and-1 converting team in the league right now. We're also one of the top teams in third down conversions right now. And we're on the bye. We're taking a week off. We deserve it. We have the toughest NFL schedule for the remainder of the season. We see all former quarterbacks except for once. And that's when we go to New Orleans on December the 14th. I will be there. And then we face Baker Mayfield, former Panther, Tampa Bay twice. We right now are tied for the division's championship for the South. And we also face our other former quarterback, Sam Darnold, with Seattle. Now, the big Blake Corum, for rushing was really big. 81 yards, still not 100, but he was the one that put up the most yards for them. Kate Williams, of course, and then Stafford had his own. But then for the Panthers, it was just no match. Bryce was 15 out of 20. 15 out of 20. Like, he only missed 5 completions that whole game. 206 yards, 3 touchdowns, count them, 0 interceptions. He was sacked twice, and the Rams thought they were really doing something with Byron Young. He's a friend of one of my friends that I know, Georgia boy. Listen, it didn't matter what y'all did because we got it done. Chuba Hubbard, 83 yards, 17 carries. Rico Dowdle, not as much, 58 yards. That lets you know we're just not really ready to let go of Hubbard yet. We still clearly need him. 18 carries. Bryce Young himself had 5 carries and 23 yards. Jalen Coker, big pull-up. Him and T-Mac, big pull-up. Jalen had 74 yards, 4 receptions, and he averaged 18.5 on that. 33 long, really, really good. T-Mac had 43 yards and 1 reception. For both of Jalen and T-Mac had touchdowns. So did Chuba Hubbard. And like I said, shout out to Derrick Brown on the Panthers defense. We hope Roseboom gets well soon because he's a big crucial part to the Panthers D that was not out there, but Derrick Brown was the difference maker with that crucial turnover. So being that I went through all that, why would the Rams eat up all of their timeouts with over 2 minutes and 30 seconds still left on the board?
Well, you got to understand, he understands his quarterback. Stafford is probably either 1 or 2 in the last, well, he is number 1 in the last 10 years in fourth quarter comebacks. So you gotta understand who your quarterback is. And remember, I put in the text that if you give Matt Stafford and unfortunately this time he blew it because he fumbled the ball.
Unfortunately for me.
And it was a rainy day too. But I'm not giving him an excuse. But dude, you got to hold on to that ball.
The rain had stopped.
It was but the field's still wet.
Yeah.
The thing about Stafford in this game, he was very uncharacteristic. He had went through 10 games without throwing an interception until this one, which he threw 2. And the first one, I looked at both the interceptions he threw. One was just basically telepath to the guy who was the one to return it for a pick 6 because that dude, he was right there. Yeah. And Stafford just had a really bad game. I mean, the weather condition, and something about that stadium too. It seems like some of these teams come there, they underestimated or something. I don't know. It's just like it's one thing that goes on and just like I don't know how to play all of a sudden. And that was like Stafford. I mean, you got to give it to the Rams. you guys didn't let a 100-yard rusher, but in total, you end up 153 yards. Blake Corum had 11.7 yards per carry. He was killing that defense. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't make a difference because at the end of the day, guess what? If you fumble the ball, you turn over, you get the W. That's right. That's all that counts.
Yep.
So, and it was a good game by the defense. The defense played when they had to, and it came up big 3 times on LA, stopped them from drives. It was a good game. It was a really good game. I was really impressed by both teams. Well, I was impressed more by Carolina's defense. Carolina in general, offensively, I thought they were really good too because Bryce was doing very good again. And that's a weakness of the Rams too. Their secondary is not the greatest. So that's a weakness, and teams will probably see that in the upcoming when they play the Rams. So they're going to start throwing on them like it ain't nothing. But Carolina exposed a weakness on their team. But Carolina did a really good job, though. They did.
Thank you, B.
You need it. You needed that win too. You gotta keep that. You gotta keep that going. You gotta keep it going.
We needed it. And you made a good point. The offense stayed out. Let's be clear. The third quarter, Bryce held on to that ball 13 minutes and 50 some. He ate up the entire quarter. They wore that defense of the Rams down. They were on the field the entire quarter. It was literally like the commentators were like, are the Rams going to even get the ball back? Like, we were getting the first down, then letting it go all the way up to third down, then converting again and starting over on the downs. And a couple of times it was 4th and 1, and we went for it. I saw us do our own tush push. I was like, okay, Carolina. So it's good to see the maturation of the team. I'm not one of these fans that's unrealistic unless we're in the middle of winning a game. Then I'm like, yeah, we kill them. But I am pleasantly surprised at the Panthers, especially with coming into the season with all the naysayers. And I'm always going to be optimistic, like, oh, okay, we're going to go 10-7, blah, 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 and it's just really good. But then you have to really be realistic to be like, what team are you going to get, though? Because we've lost games that we shouldn't have lost, and then won games that even Panthers fans, being honest, were like, what? Green Bay on the road, okay? But to take New Orleans, who had only won 1 game at the time, or 2 games at the time, and we gifted them a game in our, it just looked at home. It looked different. Then the Rams, of course, the Bills did what they did, but Bryce wasn't there. But I think that game we would have lost against Buffalo anyway. But even New England, when we first, the beginning of the season, even if New England had beat us, it should not have been the shellacking that we got by New England. I mean, kudos to them. They're top of their division. Drake May, UNC Chapel Hill alum. Shout out to him. So he's still got Carolina ties. His family's in North Carolina. Matter of fact, it's so weird. I had read somewhere where he was hoping to be able to stay at home. So, he would have been, I guess, a backup to Bryce. I don't know. But just imagine if the Panthers had taken that gamble. How we would have been set up for the next several years, considering the way he's playing. And shout out to Coach Canales. He has really got his footing with this team. This is the most solid coach we've had since Ron Rivera left. Steve Wilkes was really good with us, but they didn't really give him a solid chance to prove where we needed him to be, as a coach. And after that, it was just a downward spiral. So kudos to us. We got this Sunday off. Then we're going out to New Orleans and take on the Saints for the final time this season. And I say the final time because I know for certain the Saints will not be making the playoffs. So this will be wrapping us up. And it's winding down time, B. It's winding down time. Mm-hmm. What was your most interesting game? I mean, I did hear the announcer say that Carolina game was extremely interesting because all the games on Sunday, the total point was like 21. And we had that like in the first quarter almost. And so what was your most interesting game from Sunday?
Besides that one, it was the Texans and the Colts. That was the other game I was watching too, in between yours and that was the other game I was watching though. Houston, and I was switching out with the Panthers as well. That was. I had a feeling that Houston was going to win that game because their defense is just explosive. They got a really good defense. There's no defense in this league that can match them right now. Seattle is not even in Seattle, and the Broncos aren't even close to that defense right now. They might have a lot of sacks, but they don't have they can stop you every way, which way they can. When they need to make a stop, they make that stop. I'm not saying they're the 85 Bears or the 2000 Ravens or anything like that. No, they're not that good of a defense, but they are the best defense in this league. That's for sure. So that was one game that I saw. I watched a little bit of the Minnesota-Seattle game. I don't even know why. The Sam Darnold Bowl.
Literally put on a clinic.
Sam Darnold just destroyed. Well, the Viking. Every time I turn it on to watch some of it, Max was throwing a pick. I was like, "What the heck, dude? Can you stop throwing interceptions? What are you not seeing out in the field?" He was getting pressured a lot too. That was the other thing. That offensive line for Minnesota is just stank offensive line.
I mean, I'm upset. Speaking about Minnesota, B, I just have to talk this because we were talking about this a little bit earlier on the Unprofessional Sports Show that B hosts with some other gentlemen every week at 6 o'clock on Wednesdays. And I'm gonna be honest. I just happened to be scrolling through social media and saw that Adam Thielen was, quote, given permission to seek employment elsewhere when all he asked for was just, to retire a Viking, to put a few yards on the field because we got, 5 weeks left. Y'all not making the playoffs anyway. I know what your theory was because we talked about it on the last show, but I still feel like I could see if they were going, even if they were going to the playoffs, you could let him play a couple of hikes. You could have done that. You didn't have to keep him completely benched. So now he's going to be a freaking Steeler, and he basically was saying, well, let me just go somewhere that's going to be playoff bound.
And again, if people out there didn't see the show earlier, my theory to this is that he was going to it was hard pressed for him to be on that field anyway because of JJ and Jordan Anderson and Hawkinson that were on there. And then Naylor too. Naylor's been up and coming as a slot receiver. He wants more playing time as far as like being a starter or even a second fiddle, but as getting the looks. And he wasn't going to do that with this team. A, because of JJ and Jordan Addison, but B, because they have no quarterback. So, I mean, their quarterback situation is trash right now. But at least he's got a real viable quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers will get him the ball because it's like one veteran. Huh? Yeah, he will. It's one veteran to another veteran. He likes, you know what? Let me tell you something. It's kind of, and I'm not trying to be funny when I say this. It's like Brady when he had his receivers. Who were they?
Oh, the older folks.
He made well, not older folks, but he made them basically. Those receivers that probably wouldn't been good on any other team.
Amendola, all of them.
Right, and basically. And I'm not trying to be funny again when I say this, but they were white receivers. So, yeah. And Brady, for some reason, besides Moss, he liked the white receivers.
And Antonio Brown,
yeah. But Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers in this case, I'm going to say it like this. Aaron Rodgers knows that Thielen will be more dependable on his route running. DK is more of I'm gonna go down the field and catch it kind of guy. Yeah, I'm. That's not what I'm saying, Monkey. He runs his routes better. And DK is just a down the field guy anyway. That's has to do more with DK than it does have to do with Aaron Jones, though, Kevin. It doesn't have to do nothing with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is old. He's gone. He
got a birthday coming up this month.
He's going to his dark place 42. Too many times, I think. Yeah, good for him. Anyway, as long as he don't catch a lot of mushrooms, he'll be all right.
Right. I mean, I guess I'm vested in it though, B, because Thielen asked to leave the Panthers. That's the caveat for me. You had a job with the Panthers. No, it wasn't really number one, because they got T-Mac and Coker in there, Xavier Leggett. They got a lot of people to be there. But he was still playing like certain down. He was still coming in. He wasn't completely benched. And he asked, hey, can I, I'm seeking a trade to go back to Minnesota because that's home for me. And that's where I want to play my final downs. And so we were like, okay. And I mean, I was disappointed because I'm a Thielen fan, even when he was with the Vikings and then he came to Carolina. And before I could even get his jersey, he was gone. And
yeah, I mean, you got to remember something too. Different circumstances with Carolina. You had a lot of rookie guys on there, Coker included. You had T-Mac on there. You had Xavier on there. Xavier was just coming around. He's just starting to come around. So him leaving that was probably the best thing for the Panthers at the time because got all them guys involved. And that's what they need. They need their young trio to step up, and that's what they've been doing pretty much. But then Thielen is just he's on the Aaron Rodgers bus right now. He's going to retire at the end of this year. He just wants to feel like he's needed, and they didn't need him in Minnesota gave him the benefit of doubt. Yeah, we'll take you, dude. Ain't no problem, because we got a lot of respect for you. We know your family loves it here. Blah blah blah. They probably told him, we probably won't play you too much though. And then after a while, when you're sitting on a bench and you're like, I'm a professional, I need to do something out here. At least put me in for any kind of play. Yeah. And it's like they just had no room for him on there. So, they granted his wish and going, seeking another, letting him go so he can go play with the Steelers. And that's fine. I mean, I don't think there was any disrespect by Minnesota. I think they really appreciate Thielen for all the things that he did when he was there. And he's a good guy. Like you said, he's a good guy. And then Thielen ain't going to no damn Buffalo. You got Darius Slay. Anyway, Thielen, he's gonna be. I think going to Pittsburgh might be a really good thing for him, and I think Pittsburgh might actually do some things with him on that field. They might benefit from him being there, because DK is like, you don't get. I've been saying this the whole time. DK is a freakishly good athlete. The problem with him is his mentality. If you don't start getting him involved in the game early, he's dookie after that. He won't catch balls. He won't block. He won't do nothing. And you're too talented to be in that situation to me. And that's why I used to really like DK, because I thought he was the next Calvin Johnson. He's fast. Yeah. He's as big as Calvin Johnson. Yes. He's got good hands. But then once I started seeing his work ethic going on into games, I was like, dude, you can't do that. It's like sometimes, I remember one play, they were playing in Arizona, Seattle was, and the quarterback, I think it was Wilson at the time. Was it Wilson at the time? Or was it Geno? Oh, it was probably Geno. Geno threw an interception, and the guy was running it back for a touchdown, and you saw this flash coming across the field. That was DK. He made the saving tackle, so they get a touchdown. But he does that. It's like you see the streaks of, awesomeness in him, and then it's like the rest of the game, he puts like 5% into the game. So it's good to have Thielen there, because maybe Thielen can ground him a little bit, because there's certainly nobody else on that team that's going to ground anybody, because they're all younger than DK, first of all. And they're not great receivers. They're, mid receivers on that team. Roman Wilson isn't even started coming out yet, and they really don't even throw to him. It's either DK or the tight ends. So, I mean, if they get Thielen out there, maybe it'll and they start using him effectively, they'll stretch that defense out, and then they'll be able to do the things that they need to be doing. But what they had before he came there.
Yeah, and shout out to Mark Andrews on a different note. $39 million contract with the Ravens extension. This is an abbreviated show tonight, guys, so we're going to be wrapping up here soon. But B, I want to talk to you about tomorrow night's big game with your Lions and the Cowboys. Sure, that is a highly anticipated game, yes. Highly anticipated. And you were talking about the reason why I'm segueing to that now. You were talking about DK, how you see these glimpses of him. And I remember a similar conversation against a new minted Cowboy, George Pickens, how he was in Pittsburgh. And now he seems to have literally helped that franchise turn their season around. They were 3-7 a few weeks ago. Now they are absolutely good. And thank you, Monkey. That's really kind of you. And so tomorrow night, it's going to go down. And I know you're not really banking on your coach making all these calls now. Why would Campbell take on the calling when everything was going great? Last year, this time, you guys were like 13, 14, and 2. And this season, you are, for all practical purposes, tied with the Panthers right now. You guys got one game ahead of us. We'll catch up when we get back.
You'll catch up when you get the bye. Yeah. whether we win or lose. Well, if we lose, yeah, we'll be definitely tied with you.
Well,
But
we're 6-5.
I think I know. No, you're 7-6
7-5.
right now. 7-6. You're
7-6.
7-6.
Yeah.
So if we lose, then we'll be tied with you for real.
Yeah. We'll be here waiting.
But the thing about it is, there's two things that are wrong right now with the Lions that they need to fix. Which is the interior line, which that's a hard ask to do in the first place, because that's what they started with in the beginning of the year, with a bad interior line. It's like sometimes they can play, when they play good, they win games. When they play bad, that's apparent the reason why they lost. But Dan Campbell's not helping any of this out either. I'm really kind of I don't know why he took the play calling duties from Morton. Morton was not doing that bad of a job. When Ben Johnson was here, when he started, Ben Johnson went 1-6. I didn't see Dan Campbell taking the play calling duties away from him then when it happened. So why are you doing this to Johnny Morton? I'm not understanding that whole situation. And if it's an ego thing, then dude, your ego's cashing checks that you shouldn't be spending right now, because he's got bad play calling. And when you do if you do 4 downs and you're running all 4 downs right in the middle of the defense all 4 times, Jahmyr Gibbs is a dynamic running back. But if you don't do any play calling to make him effective, then he's going to be just a regular Joe out there. You can't. He does no. It's like he has no vision on the offense. At least that Johnny Morton sometimes he had some motion going on in the backfield, but now there's no motion going on in the backfield. It's like we know what you're going to do before you do it, Dan.
Right. They studied him. I mean, Detroit is 3rd in the NFC North right now, behind Green Bay. I mean, we tried to help y'all. We beat Green Bay for you guys. So, I mean, and then Dallas has eased up shockingly to number 2, but I guess with, Jaden Daniels out, and then the way the Giants have really shrunken. I mean, they are not giant at all. They are super, honey, I shrunk the kids' tinies right now. They are garbage. They are hot garbage. They next to the Titans. They're the tinies. So, Fern, I hope you're watching. And B knows why I literally try to make a point of coming for him every show. He had so much to talk about the Panthers. The Falcons were going to claim the South, and all this, that, and the third. And you can't even win. You can't even get to 500. They are 154 right now out of the rankings. And so you know how you have 500. Giants are 154.154. They're not even 300. They're not 400. They're nowhere. So now, because the Eagles haven't played that solid, the NFC East is up for grabs, because I haven't seen the Eagles look like they did. So tomorrow night's game, B, what's your forecast for you guys' matchup tomorrow? I'm pulling for y'all, by the way.
What they need to do instead of start running the ball. Remember, they got Quinn Williams in the middle. Dude is the best run stopper in the league. Yeah. Okay, he's got a very high percentage of run stop ability. And then they got the other 2 guys. They got the rookie they just paid for the defensive tackle, and then what's his face from Green Bay that they had gotten from the trade for Micah Parsons. So they got that interior line is nobody's going past that, and they've shown that in the last 3 or 4. Since Quentin Williams has been there, they have pretty much stopped that running game. So the first thing you don't do is run at them, Dan. Pass the ball more. Let's start off passing the ball, getting it down the field, because right now Diggs is not in. Bland, they got a bad secondary right now. I don't think Hooker's playing either. But
Hooker, yeah.
It'll be well, I mean, it's going to be a tough. I mean, look, you can say all that you want to, but we lost 4 games with Laporte in the lineup. So I mean, and Amon's going to be more of an impact than anybody else is. But Jameson's got to step up. Jamo's got to step up. Isaac Tesla's got to step up. Jeremy, you got to put Jahmyr Gibbs out there and pass protect. Pass.
You think you guys can win this?
I think we can win it because I always have hope that we can win any game.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not easy on Dan Campbell's play calling. That's the only thing I think that's going to mess us up is that play calling. Other than that, I think we can win this game. We're not getting Kirby back. Kirby's going to be out, but we do have DJ Reed and Terry and Arnold is out for 4 games. So our defensive backfield's kind of low right now. So we're just about as banged up as Dallas's backside is. So it'll be an interesting game. But I think they should go to the air more and not play the run as much and use Jahmyr Gibbs as like a back coming out of the backfield and just throw to him. It should be I think it's going to be a high scoring game, but I also think it's going to be a really close game. Basically, whoever has the ball last will probably win it. And usually these games with Dallas in Detroit are anyway, say from last year. Last year we destroyed them, but that was with a whole different team, really.
And it's shocking y'all get to play them back to back like that too. They usually alternate divisions from the East and South and all that. But
yeah.
Okay, well, good.
Hey, good thing. Hey, good thing. Next year, we play your division next year.
Oh, we ready. Listen, I tell everybody, if anybody is not on our schedule this year, be glad you're not on our schedule because we have something for everybody. And if you're on our schedule, you've been warned. We're coming for you. Hop over next, guys. B's got a show coming on here shortly right here on this station. B, thanks for joining me tonight on Prim and Proper Sports. We'll see everybody Friday with the fellas. And with that, we bid you guys good night.
Peace.